Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I'm talking about the new comics that I picked up on December 11th, 2019. This is week 50 of 2019. And I'm a little bit behind on this, but I was able to read a bunch of the books that came out this week. Unfortunately, most of them I read like last Wednesday. I'm recording this the following Tuesday, in preparation so that I can record tomorrow's episode when I pick up the next batch of new comics. But we'll see how much I can remember of these. So first of all, the books that I did read, Batman's Grave #3 continues the story. I enjoyed that one, and I won't give away any specifics, even if I could remember them, because they'll give away what happens in the first two issues. But this series so far has been worth checking out. Deja Thoris, issue #1. Shoot, I don't remember anything that happened in this, and I do remember thinking while I was reading it, maybe this is the only issue I get of this, maybe, but I've not made that call yet. I'll see if I'll give it one more issue shot. Wonder Twins #10. This book continues to be great, although I can't remember. I should have recorded this episode after, I seriously read all of these, in one sitting, these 5 or 6 books. But Vampirella and Red Sonja, or Red Sonja and Vampirella #4. This is another good one. I really like this crossover here. This issue was really focused on Red Sonja and not a whole lot of Vampirella. She was in there, but it was mostly focused on Red Sonja, if I'm remembering correctly. And then we have Supergirl #37, more of infected Supergirl, which is like my favorite version of her yet. You have her being like, she is still like helping people, but she's like really complaining about it, and that is hilarious. And I sent a picture of one of the panels to my friend Kristen, because it made me think of her, because she teaches elementary school kids, and there's a panel where Supergirl is saving a bus from peril, and she's saying, like, I don't understand how these humans ever survived to adulthood before I came along, or something like that. And so yeah, this is by far my favorite book of the week that I actually, the fact that I actually remember some stuff from it means that it was pretty great. But anyway, I need to get caught up on Batman Superman, because every single issue that because I've been staying caught up on Supergirl, but it keeps referencing these last few issues with the infected stuff. It's like, see what's going on in Batman Superman #3 or whatever. So I need to get over to reading those. I have those books, just haven't gotten to that yet. And then the last book that I've read from this week was Dark Knight Returns: The Golden Child, one shot, Black Label, Frank Miller, Raphael Grumpa with Jordi Belair are the credits on the front of the cover. A bunch more credits inside, of course, but it's all packed up here, so I'm not going to open it up to look. But anyway, it was pretty cool. Not my favorite book in the world or anything. I do enjoy this like alternate timeline of the Dark Knight Returns universe, with Jonathan Kent. No, not Jonathan Kent. Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah. With Jonathan Kent. Is it Jonathan? Yes, I think so. Anyway, the Golden Child, the titular Golden Child, and then also I don't even remember her name. can't remember their names now, but the Batwoman who was Robin, and then she was Catwoman, and now she's Batwoman. But she's pretty cool in this, and then also I think it's Lana Kent, Superman and Wonder Woman's daughter. That's all pretty interesting. But like, I don't recommend reading this book if you haven't. If you read this book without having read all of the other Dark Knight books, you're going to be kind of confused. Like, there's no explanation. Like, it assumes, or I assume it assumes that you've read all those other books. Because it doesn't like introduce these characters and things. It just gets right into it, and which I appreciate that, but having not caught up on reading all those other books, I think I've only read the original Dark Knight Returns, not the second run, and not DK3, which was just a couple of years ago. And I think if I had read those, then I would have like right away knew who all these people were. But as it is, I had to look up a lot of stuff as I was reading it. So I did still enjoy it, but I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I had been caught up on everything, because it is not like this is not at all an entry point into the Dark Knight Returns stuff. So yeah, read Dark Knight Returns, like all of it probably, before you read this. Or go ahead, jump in. It is like its own thing. It just doesn't offer any explanation. Like, there's not a whole lot of context for it. It's fine. Okay, so that's all the books that I read from this week. My number one recommendation out of those, of course, is Supergirl number 37. All right. Here we go. This one was separate because I could jump right into reading this. Otherwise, I'm going to go in alphabetical order. But Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Teen Titans, The Judas Contract. That came out. I'm looking forward to that. It's been... I haven't read the original, but I did read... Not read. I did watch the DC Universe animated version, and I enjoyed it. But it's been a while, so I don't remember exactly what happened in that story. So, like all of these Tales from books, I'm going to have to get reacquainted with that before I jump into the multiverse version. Okay. Archie, 1955, number 3 of 5. The Birth of Rock and Roll. We see Archie there jamming out on an acoustic guitar. I have not started reading this set yet because it's only 5 issues and only 2 more to get, and then I'll sit down and read all 5 of them. The more I say that with all of these miniseries books and limited runs and stuff, I think I should just wait until the trade paperback comes out and get that version and then read it all at once when that comes out. But I haven't learned yet. I'll learn eventually, somewhat. And a lot of times I end up getting the paperback anyway. But anyway, Batman and the Outsiders, number 8. I got the variant cover of this. It's pretty cool. It has the whole gang on there. Batman Curse of the White Knight, book number 5. I don't know if this is the last in this series or if it's going to 5 book or to 6 books. But this cover is pretty cool. I got the one with the Joker on there with Batman underwater and all that crazy, the skyline in the background. It's a pretty cool cover. I like it. By the way, not related to comics, but went to I have a surplus of chemicals, mainly like rubbing alcohol, and I thought, I could just dump this out and then use the bottle to help like clean the bathroom and stuff, because I can use it as just to like pour water onto stuff away from the faucet, like the bathtub especially. And I went to pour out. It was like a third of it was still in there, so I went to pour out that third. And I do not recommend doing that at all with rubbing alcohol because it was powerful, it was potent, and I don't think it was even. I think it was only like 75% rubbing alcohol, and yeah, that was a mistake. I don't advise doing that, and maybe I might not even be speaking English right now. I don't even realize it. From the brain damage that occurred from inhaling the fumes. But yeah, so that's a tip there that you probably don't even need a tip for. You probably already knew that. Don't do that. All right, so Betty Page Unbound, issue number 7 of her there. I don't know what character she is, but it's I should probably know what character she is, but actually looks pretty awesome on this cover with like the it's kind of like it's not, maybe not like it's kind of like an Elvira looking thing, but she has horns, so she's like kind of like a demon. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to getting caught up on that. Captain Marvel issue number 13. Oh, this is one that I should take this off of my pull list. I need to let them know that tomorrow that Captain Marvel is no more for my collection. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I'm obviously not caught up on it. Otherwise, if I was, I might be like super excited about what's going on there. But anyhow, Detective Comics issue 1017. We've got an interesting, it's kind of like an Art Deco style variant cover. The variant is by, I'm going to take the time. Oh, it's a cardstock cover, and the variant is by Joshua Middleton. That name sounds familiar. I can't put it together with other artwork to remember, but his name definitely does sound familiar. Doom Patrol: Weight of the Worlds issue number 6. This is a pretty cool cover. It's like a Tron universe, but there's a frog on one of the scooter. It's like a scooter. It's yeah. Anyway, there's some pixelization. I don't know if that's meant to be censoring anything or just the stylistic. No, it's just the stylistic thing. It's not over anything that would be naughty bits or anything like that. I need to, now that it's issued, I don't know if this is the last issue of this. If it's only a 6-issue run, maybe it's an 8-issue run. I don't know, but yeah, I think now that it's at issue 6, I should sit down and read all of those. But after I move to the new apartment, which is happening in just 3 days, like 2.5 days from right now, because I'm recording this Tuesday night, happening on Friday morning, and before that. We've got another week of new comics. The finale of Survivor season 39. Basically the 2019 finale of NXT, and episode 7 of Mandalorian. Episode 6 of Mandalorian I still have to talk about, and Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about this week. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time talking about these comics. All right, Fantastic Four, issue number 17. This cover looks pretty cool. It's Point of Origin, part 4. I'm not even at part 1 of Point of Origin. But I did read that, I think I talked about it in the last time. Negative Zone. Fantastic Four Negative Zone. That was pretty cool. The Flash, issue number 84, another really cool variant cover here, with the Flash and then a bunch of villains, and a splash behind him. I like that a lot. The Flash 100-page giant number 2. We got the Weather Wizard, the Glider, the Captain Cold. None of these actually have the at the beginning of it, but the Flash does have the Captain Cold, the Black Canary, also featuring the Green Arrow. New World Gone Mad. It's him talking to a pig. And Blue Beetle, Return of the Prodigal Superhero. 5 action-packed stories. And the main story is Death from the Future. Yikes. He's 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 a he's a withered old man there getting a friggin' trident stabbed into his neck. Okay, Go Power Rangers issue number 26 is the last issue that I will be getting. But this cover, oh, Tommy looks really sad that I'm not getting any more issues on this cover. Is him like just looking sadly off in the distance. Anyway, the others seem fine with it. Gotham City Monsters issue number 4 of 6. And now Batwoman. We see Batwoman just smacking the hell out of one of these monsters. I'm pretty sure I read issue number 1 at least, but I might as well finish this one out because it's 4 of the 6 issues. Same thing, of course, with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. The reason I'm mentioning all this is that I can add that to my red pile, but is that I started talking about, maybe I was talking about even earlier than this, but last week I mentioned some of the books that I am not subscribing to anymore, that I took off my subscription list because I'm just in way too many comics every week. And part of that is to not just jump on every title that looks interesting when I see the file order cutoff lists. And so this last week, I didn't subscribe to anything new. So that's a step in the right direction. I did ask to pull a couple of re-releases and one of them is only $1. So I think that helps. There's a Batman Adventures issue, and I think it was the first appearance of, who was maybe Harley Quinn? Something. And then the other one was a Detective Comics, the first appearance of the modern Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. And I think I actually have read that already. I feel like I have, because the description of it, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty familiar. Like she was just dressing up or something, and then she kind of acts like she dressed up to go to a party or something. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading that, either for the first time or reading it again. Actually, I have a physical copy of it. It'd be pretty cool. But anyway, so those are the only 2 that I asked to have pulled for my box there. And I think that's a good step towards not getting an insane amount of comics every week. But it'll take a little while until these mini-series runs end. I just let those end and then not add any more, and that should by itself cut down at least like 10% of what I've been getting every week. But anyway, this is one of those, because I have been getting all of the covers because they're all matching, like not wraparound, but like they go together. And right now I'm looking at this one, and it has them setting up a Wile E. Coyote type trap for a cop that's chasing them on a motorcycle. I like that a lot. And then the main cover has they're at a dino park and admit 2 for death at the dino park. And I'm excited to read all of these. But anyway, moving on, we have Justice League Odyssey issue number 16. Nothing to say about that. Moonshine number 14. Also nothing to say about. This is one actually, I think I asked to subscribe to it when I thought it was at the beginning of it, but it was actually on a break, and they had just re-released issue number 1. And so I think issues number 1 through 12 are all on Comixology Unlimited, but I haven't gone around to reading it. So that's another one that I think I could lose and not be missing out much on. But then we have Superman number 18. Great variant cover of him just punching the crap out of some rubble, like a wall. He's punching through a wall or something. This variant cover is by Brian Hitch and Alex Sinclair. So that's pretty cool. Nice actiony one. And then we have Symbiote Spider-Man Alternate Reality #1. And I think this might be a one shot. I'm not sure. Yeah, because if it was a continuation of Symbiote Spider-Man, I think it would have a legacy number underneath the #1, which it doesn't. And then Titans Burning Rage issue #5. We have the Titans fighting God. That is straight up Godzilla. They are literally fighting Godzilla on this cover. Okay, I realized that the books with this style of cover, with that diagonal color band across the top, that they are republishings. I think this is the case because it was the case with Wonder Woman Coming Home or Come Home to Me. That they are stories that were originally in the giant books, and now they're like separated out into their individual books. So I might be double dipping on a lot of these, but I'm okay with I am okay with that. It's fine. And then lastly for this week, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #100, City at War, the end. So now I have perfect excuse to go back to part 1. I think this is part 6 of the whole shebang. So now I have a perfect excuse to go back and start reading from there. Like as each of these has come, like it's daunting anyway because number 99 was also super thick. So that one and this one, both substantial issues. And I know nothing about it. I don't know any spoilers or anything like that. I don't know the story leading up to it, any of that. So I'm excited to just jump in and read, just enjoy it, like unadulterated, I guess, with no expectations, no spoilers, none of that. So that's it for all the comics I picked up this week. I am really excited for this coming everything that comes out tomorrow. I'm not even sure, like I don't keep track of what's coming out that week unless it's like something like really important that like pops up in my Twitter feed a whole bunch or something like that, like Action Comics 1000, things like that. So I'm not sure at all what comes out next week. But whatever they are, I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully it's not quite as huge of a stack this week. You know, ideally, I think I would only get as many as that I'm able to read like that day. So like 5 or 6 books every week instead of like 20. But it'll take a while to get back down. I mean, I could just say, hey, stop everything except for these 3 books or whatever. But I feel the completionist aspect, the complete collection aspect of a lot of this stuff is like, I started at the beginning, I gotta keep it going, I gotta see it through, that sort of thing. But anyway, something like Moonshine, where I don't have issue 2 through 12. I only got issue #1, and then when I came back, I got 13 and 14. So like something like that, it feels like I got to go back and get all those other issues, or just stop it right here and bing, bang, boom, fing, fang, foom. All right, so that is it for this week. Let me know which of these books and which books I didn't pick up that you picked up, that you've enjoyed or not enjoyed so much. There wasn't anything like. Okay, I didn't read this before I recorded the episode where I picked it up. Issue #2 of Green Lantern Black Stars. I enjoyed it more than issue #1, and I felt like I did understand what was happening a lot more. And then I realized there's only one more issue of it anyway, so I may as well just get it. It's fine. Instead of I'm 2/3 of the way there. So I did not cut that one off as I said I was probably going to. And I still, in my mind anyway, that first issue was like nonsense, but I did like issue #2 a bit more. So there you go. the addendum, or the was the word for it? Just an update on the Green Lantern Black Stars situation. So now that's it. Let me know what you thought about all this stuff by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.